Well, welcome back to Pirate Solutions Forestry. My name is Bill. Uh, to pick up where we left off, we were trying to cut clear boards for a high-end carpenter that's doing, I believe, a 1600s house. He's got to replace the wainscoting, and he needs true 1-inch rough sawn pine for what they have in the house. He needs it clear. So based on his order, we were trying to cut that for him. And what we did was we picked a clear log that had no knots in it. And we ran into knots in the middle of the log. So we grade saw, sawed, grade sawed as much as we could. And then I was going to take the cant off. But let me show you what I got going on. Rather than take this cant off, we might as well cut it while we have it in place. So we have my timber frame guy, the timber frame that he's doing needs two 3x5 by 8 foot or 1 by 16. He needs 5 4x6 by 8 foot, and he needs two 4x5 by 8 foot. Hope that's not coming in here. This log, this cant, the way it is right now, is like 10.5 by 12.5. So it'll work perfect for cutting 4 of his 4x6 by 8 foot out of it, even though it's 10. That'll get 4 of the 5 done. So what we need to do is we need to cut this log down. We have to shave the 10-inch dimension. This is a pretty fresh cut log. I don't know if you can see the sap bleeding out of it right there. This is a pretty fresh cut log. I'll show you the band in a second. But so we have 10.5 here. What we're going to do is we're going to take 2 boards out of this side right here to balance this a little bit. Take this down to 8 1/8. And then we have to cut this dimension to 12 1/8 and basically cut it in half and cut it in half. Now let's show you my band for what I'm running as clean as it is out of a fresh pine log. Hopefully you can see that. It's like perfectly clean. Cutting a very fresh pine log using that pine Allen and some of that stuff, that Ajax. It's like Dawn dish soap and water. So what we're going to do, let me get you guys set up over here. Maybe I'll give you a look from this side rather than watch the sawdust shooting out. You watch from this side. Let's put you over here. This is a different view. All right, so I'm going to let you watch from here. What we're going to do is we're going to flip this log. It's covered in pitch, so I'm wearing gloves. I'm going to flip this log on its side. I got that one little piece of wane on the bottom on the other side, so we're going to take it off that side first to get it down to its 8 1/8. And just in case, as we do this, if we run into a clear board, we'll take it off. Hopefully not wreck the whole thing. Now, I do need some 4x5s also. So there's a chance that if, for some reason, if we ran into a clear board, we could still take it for the other guy. But what we're going to do is we're going to drop down. Keep my thing on my hip here. We're going to drop down to, we're at 10.5. We're going to go to 9 3/8. Probably strong. And then we're going to cut it at 8 1/8. That way we can use them for 1-inch boards for sheathing for the shed. Or I could just take a 2-inch off. What would that do me for 2x4s? I could end up with 3 2x4s out if I did that, but I got some pretty big knots in it. So, could just go to 8 1/8 right now and then edge this off into 2x4s. I think if I did that, it doesn't hurt me for anything, and I need the 2x4s. So it's not a bad idea. think what I'll do is I'm just going to come down to 8 1/8, cut this right off at 8 1/8, and then flip it up on its side, cut it to 12 1/8, which is going to kind of be a skim cut. That's going to give me a weird 1/2 inch board. And then we'll just split it in half, split it in half. So that sounds like the deal. Yeah, I'll be able to cut 3 2x4s out of it this way. I can cut those when I cut my, or after I cut my 4x. All right, Danny, get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. So we're going to come down to 8 1/8. That's going to give us enough to split it in half. I'm going to make a mark, and then we're going to measure it. It should be about 2 1/4, I think. Which doesn't hurt us on 2x4s. That's 2 1/2. It's 2 1/2. All right, instead I'm going to do the 1 inch boards. I'm at 10 1/2. I'm going to come to 9 3/8. Still going to give me a skim cut. Still looks thick. Yeah, that's 1 1/4 inches. I'm like an 8 strong. Let's go up to everything's on the bump. That's 1 inch right there. Let's take that off right there. That's 9 5/8. We're going to come to. Probably just take this. Trying to maybe save myself a skim cut here. Yeah, it's full of knots now. So this is barn board for me. Eight and a half. That's 1 inch. If I go to 8 1/8, I'm getting 1 3/8. Still thin. I'm just going to take it there and take a skim. Oh, damn it. Just turned into a horror show. I just pulled the band off. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with that band. I'm going to pause you guys. I got to put it back on. What a disaster. All right, let's hope the band didn't get messed up. I took the board off. There's knots all over the place. We're going to cut it to 8 1/8. And then We can drop our stops and cut it in half. Just go ahead and cut it to 8 1/8 first. Make sure this band's okay. This is going to be a skim cut, about a 1/2 inch. It cut perfect. Got a perfect 1/2 inch piece. We'll just use this to cover up boards at some point. Nice uniform, perfect 1/2 inch piece. So the band is still cutting great. Then I'm going to drop my stops and we'll cut it in half. I got to get down just below. So let's get down to 2. I'm still going to have to roll it, so don't take them all the way out of the picture yet. I got a slab cut that slipped up under my stop. Come on. All right, we'll cut it in half at 4, and then we'll flip it up on its side, cut it to 12 1/8, and then cut it in half. Now, before we try to flip it, you're going to want to pull it over this way quite a bit, and then get the PV around it to kind of trap it and flip it fast, so you don't throw one of these off the other side of the mill. Then we can just cut it to 12 1/8 and then cut it in half, and we're gold. The PV kind of traps them together. Just go quick. There we go. Shove them over to the stop. Dog it. One in the middle will be good. So we got to cut it to 12 1/8 and then cut it in half at 6. All right, so that gets 4 of our 5 4x6s done. We get a couple pieces of strapping, a little like 5/8 by 4 strapping. And we'll use one of these to edge off the other pieces before we go get another log. We'll just get these off. Perfect 6, perfect 4, perfect 6, perfect. So we'll mark these. These are rafters for something. I'm just going to mark them 4x6. And I'll use that one right there to edge off everything that I have up here. So I will take those off with the machine, get them stacked somewhere, since I'm running out of room here because I got something waiting on so many people to come get their stuff. I will get those off with the machine, and then I will edge off the rest of that pile. And the next time I bring you guys back, we'll have a new log up here and see if we can steal some clear pine boards to finish out his order. I'll know how much I need after I edge all those off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 9, but they're not going to be 14 inches wide. So you need 130 feet. You need them 9 by 14 is 130. So that's pretty much it. Now we got 4. I got to make sure I write down on my list here that I got 4 of these done. So instead of 5, I need 1. And we'll go on with that order as we go. So if I get this other butt log up here, I think I can cut out the rest of that and the rest of the clear boards too. It's going to be big and hard to deal with. So we'll see what, plus it's got a little rot spot in the end. Either that or I have to go searching for a clear log, one of the two. But we'll check it out, and the next time you come back, we'll be working on the other one. So it's right now, it's Power Solutions and Danny, who's over there, out.